Good morning everyone, it is Wednesday and I've just gotten ready. We're going to run some errands together today, so let's head off. But before we do, I thought I'd do a quick what I'm wearing. So I'm wearing a men's cos tee. I have worked out that I've got about 9 of these in the past 2 weeks. They are amazing. I love the cut. These are, this is the size extra small. And then I've got my new jeans, which I live in. And then I've got an Hermes belt and my Chanel flats. All right, so we're gonna have to excuse the sun. It's as though it doesn't realize that I'm shooting a video right now. So as I said to you before, I'm gonna be running some errands today and I thought it would be fun to take you along with me. As I said, the purpose of this channel is to vlog what's going on in my life, and this is what's going on in my life. So this is my first meeting with who I am hoping is going to be Ben's and my new accountant. So he reached out to a few guys on his team, he plays rugby, and asked them if they had any advice on a good accountant. And I think actually a few of them recommended this guy. So if we've got, you know, multiple people recommending him, we're gonna go to him. But whilst I'll be seeking some like preliminary advice for some steps that Ben and I want to take, my purpose for today's meeting is to discuss my reporting obligations and, you know, how to pay tax, etc. Because I've just set myself up as a company for the work I do in my day job. So obviously I want to do that properly so I don't get in trouble with the tax office. So it looks like I'm running 3 minutes late, which in all honesty isn't that bad because I was expecting to be a lot later. It does mean, however, I didn't get to stop and grab a coffee before I hit the road, which makes me a little bit sad. So I'm gonna have to do that in between this appointment and my facial. So anyway, I'm gonna listen to some music and drive like a responsible adult. So I will see you in a bit. Okay, so that meeting with the accountant went for far longer than I thought it would. It went for nearly 2 hours, which is just a long time. Like, that's a long time to just be talking about companies and how to run things and all that kind of thing. But he was definitely like, he knows his stuff, and that's why it took so long, and he loves to talk about it, which like I love when you come across people like that, that are just so knowledgeable and just like really thrive on sharing the information and, you know, all the potentials with running your finances and things like that. So it was to discuss, like I said, I think before on my way there, it was to discuss how I run my company and, you know, doing things so that it's compliant with, you know, regulations and laws and things like that. But then because he is, but then you can't really like isolate things, I guess. So I ended up having to talk to him about, you know, what Ben's and my plans are and how we best go about that and all the potentials with that. So yeah, very excited to do that. So I'll talk to Ben about it tonight. I did say to the accountant that when Ben does come to the next meeting, he will most likely have to repeat everything he just said, because I'm sure I will completely butcher explaining things. But it's really helpful, or he's really helpful in helping us like map out exactly what our steps should be, because that can obviously be really overwhelming for someone who doesn't work in that industry and whose job isn't like finance and all that kind of thing. So anyway, and then he also he gave me some beer for Ben and myself. I mean, mainly for Ben, but just as like a thank you for, like, you know, listening to the rugby boys and coming and seeing him as well. So he was going to send me away with a carton of beer or a case of beer. I don't know what the term is, but for the rugby boys, and I just looked at him and I'm like, it's just not a good idea. I'm not going to be able to carry it out of here. So anyway, he'll deliver that to the club. But anyway, I am running late for my facial. I've already informed Loz that I am running late. I'm going to be about 15 minutes late, which I hate being late to things. But anyway, I just couldn't, it was really hard to kind of cut that meeting shorter than what it was. Oops. You've zoomed in. Why have you done that? There we go. Sorry, I must have bumped it. Yeah, I couldn't cut that meeting short. It was just too valuable, the information. So I just had to, you know, kind of wear the fact that I would be late. But she said it's fine, and I'm very excited. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do today. I know that there are some issues with my skin that I want addressed, and I'm hoping that Loz will be able to help with that. I'm sure she will. It might be a process though, which is something that I'm just prepared for. So I'll talk a little bit more about like what's kind of happened with my skin the past few months, and what my what I think has caused it, because I've been having a few issues and I've not been loving it. But yeah, so anyway, I haven't even had a coffee this morning because I've just been running late, which sucks. I should be more organized, and I'm so hungry because coffee is normally like my breakfast, or at least something to put in my tummy. But again, haven't had time, which is just really sad, and I am already running late for Loz, so I'm not going to be even more late just for the sake of caffeine. But I will be getting a big coffee, I think, after this for sure. Yep, could I just get a small soy latte, please? Yep, that's it, thanks. Great, thank you. Thank you. All good? Thanks.
Might be long for that.
That's all right.
Soy latte.
Great, thank you so much. How's that? That's pretty low, isn't it? All right, we are back home. I've just finished my facial with Loz, and as you can see, I am now makeup free, and I'm just letting my skin absorb all the goodness that she's put on. So she did a cleanse, and we did some light therapy, and we did a peel as well. So I'm not allowed to exfoliate for 3 days while that's doing its thing. But I'm just, yeah, letting my skin absorb all the goodness, and I am going to, I think, make myself some food. I still haven't eaten yet, so I'm gonna make myself some food, maybe just some eggs. I did pick up a coffee, which I'm very excited about. But after I've eaten, I think I'll reevaluate what I'm doing for the rest of the day. I was going to get my nails done, but I also want to go to the gym as well, and I need to be home when Ben comes home, just because I have the keys. So I don't know if I have time really to do both, and gym should really take priority. So we're gonna see though. We're gonna see how quick I can eat and whether I'm gonna run the risk and try and do both, because I don't like to go, so Ben and I are members of the same gym, and I don't like to go at the same time as him because he likes to go with his mate, and I just don't want to be that girlfriend, you know, the one that's like just always around. So I like to go separately at a different time of day. So that is, I think, the plan of attack. So let's make some food. So occasionally the wraps will stick together, and this one stuck to the other wrap that was on top of it. But look, it left like a love heart. Okay, because we're in the business of multitasking today, just because we're a bit time poor, I just thought I would, while I'm emptying the dishwasher and just cleaning up the kitchen, would just tell you a little bit more about what kind of happened with my skin, or what I think happened. So literally on the 1st of August last year, I woke up and my skin was horrendous. Like my entire forehead had almost broken out, but it wasn't like normal pimples, if that makes sense. Like it was just completely congested, and it was really strange because it was really uniform bumps all like over my forehead, but particularly here. And it became almost, it wasn't painful or anything, but it was almost like purple. So my skin, like makeup wouldn't cover it, which was like scary enough as it was, but that's how like dark it almost was. And yeah, it was really strange. So I think what had happened was I had trialed a new pill, and I trialed it for a few months from maybe like March, April, and contraception and me, we're not friends. Like it doesn't matter what the contraception is, we just don't get along. So I've tried everything. I tried obviously the pill. I was on the pill for 10 years, so from 16 to 26, and I hopped off it because it was starting to cause massive problems, like mood wise, weight in particular. I started to get really bad PMS, and that had been like gradually happening over the years, but to the point where my emotions were uncontrollable. And so I had kind of hopped off it, and obviously fell pregnant with Bella. Then since then, I have tried a couple of different pills. Sorry, clanging. This is probably a really annoying way to do this, but I'm really sorry. I'm time poor, but if I don't do it now, I will forget. So trialed a number of different pills, and for one reason or another, I didn't last long on them. Then I also tried the Marina, and I tried that for, I would say I tried it for a couple of months now. It was a few years ago, so I can't quite remember. But I tried that for a few months, and the same thing happened. I became really like disconnected from reality. So I had to hop off that, and then I just, you know, called it quits with all contraception following that. And then Ben and I started seeing each other, and I just thought, you know what, it's a good idea to try again. So I had remembered that I think she's a women's health and fertility specialist, and she is like my regular GP, but she's just very well versed in this. And she had informed me the last time when I was looking at the Marina, she had informed me, I'll take you with me. She had informed me that there would be a new pill. Look how messy my eyebrows are because of the product. We're just gonna do a light coat of makeup, I think, just to make me feel a little bit more alive. And this is not a good idea. The lighting is horrendous in here. Where am I gonna put you? 1 second. Okay, we're not where we want to be, and you are definitely on an angle, but that's as good as it's going to get in the short amount of time we have. So as I was saying, she had told me about this pill that they were trialing, I think in the UK, so she's British, my doctor, that they were trialing in the UK, and they hadn't released in Australia yet. But she said that it was imminent, and that could be an option if I decided to try contraception in the future. So because that was a few years ago, I'm standing further back just so you can see me. Because that was a few years ago, I thought, well, surely by now they would have brought it out in Australia. And I was correct. So I tried it, and honestly, it was great. Like, I was messaging my sister, and I'm like, oh my God, I think this is it. This is the contraception of all contraception. Everyone should be on it. Like, it's great. Tell your friends, tell everyone. And then all of a sudden, that disconnect that I had experienced with other forms of contraception had started happening again. And then I had to quickly backtrack and tell my sister, actually, no, it's not great. Don't tell people to go on it, because I'm starting to have reactions now. And what I had noticed as well is my skin had become more oily. And that's a normal side effect, particularly of, is it progestin, whatever, only pill. So it was a mini pill. And by the way, I'm using the Lost Minerals foundation. It's the Pro Finish Liquid Foundation in shade 5. I actually just went back to using this foundation because I tried the NARS Sheer foundation that everyone raves on about, but to be honest, this is cheaper and it's better. So I've got a full bottle of NARS at home, but I repurchased this one because I missed it. Anyway, so I was on this mini pill, I gave it a good go. Tried it for, I think, 3 months. Ben wasn't keen on me being on it, just purely because, you know, contraception does mess with your hormones and all that kind of thing. Like, that's what it's there for. So he was like supportive of the fact that I wanted to try it, but wasn't a driving force, I guess, behind it. So anyway, I wanted to try it. He was cool with it. And then as soon as I started noticing adverse side effects, he was like, nah, time to hop off. So I did. But anyway, over the course of it, my skin became increasingly oily, which again, like I was saying, is a common side effect of the mini pills. And that was not fun. And then I think what had happened as well, I might do a bit of bronzer and a bit of mascara, and that'll do me. And then what had happened as well, I'd run out of, actually talking about Lost Minerals, I'd run out of my primer for this. I still haven't repurchased it, I really should. But I'd run out of it, and I thought, well, that's okay because I'm sitting on a few primer samples from Mecca. And I thought, well, this is a really great opportunity to use those up, and you know, what if I find a better product? And so I was using them, and I used one Bobbi Brown one, and I used a what's her name? Charlotte Tilbury. So I used her magic cream, and I used some Bobbi Brown one, and but they were just like so thick, so heavy on my skin. And I think that with the additional oil that my skin was producing as a result of the pill, it made things worse. And I think that what ended up happening was my skin just became congested and reacted to the heavy products. And because it wasn't at its like normal state, that had contributed to my skin breaking out in August. I think it was just like the perfect storm. And anyway, so I had this reaction. I didn't realize it was a reaction yet. I just assumed it was from coming off the pill. So I tried to like fix it and all that kind of thing. And then my cosmetic doctor, I went to see him for Botox, and he looked at my skin and he goes, I don't think that this is actually like a breakout. I think what it is a infection. And he's like, you may have gotten it from those products because they were like too heavy for your skin. And then again, coupled with the using of the pill, you know, kind of a perfect storm. I'm also using the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. I don't know if they have different, oh yeah, this is fair medium. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of that just to contour. Anyway, and he said, yeah, it might just be, you know, a perfect combination and the perfect storm. Anyway, so he's like, go to your GP, and I think you're gonna need some sort of medication to combat the infection. And so I went to my GP, and she put me on some antibiotics, and anyway, it did clear it up, but didn't clear it completely. So it helped with like the weird congestion, but then I had started to get spots, like pimples, and I had no idea what was going on there. So anyway, then Ben, and sorry, this is like a very quick rundown, and I'm sure it's very confusing for those who weren't involved, but Ben had suggested that I try this face wash that he had used when he had bad skin, and it had benzoyl peroxide in it. So I got that, and that actually helped so much. It kind of like almost got it back to normal, but the improvement was really quick and really great. So I continued to use that up until sort of a couple of weeks ago, because what I had noticed was I was still getting a spot, and I'm talking about like at least one pimple a week, and even though I was using this benzoyl peroxide, and I was like, I noticed that, you know, whilst the peroxide doesn't go and help like your hormones that obviously cause the breakouts in the first place. It wasn't actually helping. Oh, and now I'm using a Laura Mercier translucent setting powder just to get rid of the shine. So whilst it wasn't, you know, able to prevent the pimples, it wasn't helping to helping them to heal, essentially. And so I started to think, well, maybe actually we're beyond that now, and what I need to do instead is stop using all of that and just go back to like gentle cleansers and, you know, exfoliating and kind of like treating my skin in a different way. So that's when I started to focus on more masks and exfoliating and focusing on that sort of thing and leaving my skin alone. So I stopped using the benzoyl peroxide wash, I think maybe close to 2 weeks ago now, and my skin is like healing, and I mean, touch wood, I haven't gotten another spot. So I think that what ended up happening once it had kind of done its job is the benzoyl peroxide was probably too harsh for my skin now, and so it was actually causing like those pimples, I think, were more of a reaction from, you know, something so strong. So that's where we're at now. It's been a journey. I haven't had such bad skin since I was like 16 and like originally went on the pill, and now we're just focusing on that next stage, which is actually like taking care of my skin. And that's something I really took for granted before August. I did the bare minimum for my skin. Like I washed off my makeup, and, you know, occasionally I might use a serum or something. Sorry, I thought I heard someone at the door. I might use a serum or something like that, but it wasn't like, I didn't pay attention to my skin. And, you know, I'm also at that age now where I should be paying attention to my skin because it's only downhill from here. So I'm choosing to focus on the fact that, you know, it may be a blessing in disguise. I'm now using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Ash Brown. I'm just going to fill in my brows a little bit, and then we're going to go. That's one thing. I have decided I'm going to get my nails done. They need to be done. They're so long at the moment, and I want to do something a little bit girly for Valentine's Day. Not that we're actually celebrating Valentine's Day in terms of like going out for dinner and all of that kind of thing. But, you know, I'm just feeling a little bit girly today, I think. So we're gonna make my nails reflect that. But what was I saying? Yes, so anyway, that's where we're at with my skin journey. So I think that now that my skin has kind of like been calming down in terms of spots, it's now time to react and fix what has been like left behind after all, like, you know, the aftermath. And part of the aftermath is I've got pigmentation from my pimples, just like, they're not necessarily scarring, but because of my ethnicity, I am prone to post-trauma reactions. So that's where the pigmentation comes in. And so we just need to now help move that along, and then I think we'll actually be back to good. Yeah, so I was very happy when Loz did the peel, or said she was going to do a peel, because I just know that that will help with the cell turnover and all that. So anyway, that's my journey. I'm really sorry for the delivery of that, but like, you don't need me to sit down and tell you. You can just watch me do housework instead. Really, I'm the worst YouTuber. Okay, so now hair's done, makeup is done, and I feel a little bit more alive. So now we're gonna go to get our nails done. Okay, we are done with our nails. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, but look at them. They've got little little love hearts for Valentine's Day. I'm so like not one of those people that their nails reflect whatever holiday or, you know, whatever's coming up, but apparently I am at the moment, and I did the same for Christmas actually. I like subtle hints at the holidays, but okay, it's now Thursday and I've just finished at the gym, hence my disheveled appearance. But I wanted to wrap up this vlog, and I thought the best way to do that would be to just show you how the laundry is going. So I showed a bit of it in the last vlog, but I didn't show it with the shelves up. So I thought I would do that now. So here we go, the shelves are up and they are fully stocked. I purchased these baskets. I thought I was going to be able to get 4 in, but the shelves are about 1 centimeter too short, which is so sad. But I keep now my toiletry bags just piled up here. There's normally a black one as well, but as I'm staying at Ben's this week, it is in use and currently in his bathroom. I also bought these new all white towels from David Jones. They're Cotton House, and so far so good. I actually am really picky with towels. I had a bad experience when I had first moved out of home when I was like 21. I didn't have much money, obviously, and I bought the cheapest towels possible, and I've since learned my lesson that, you know, the cheaper the towel, the worse quality it is. So 21-year-old me did not know that, but we keep our beach towels here. These are just Country Road ones. And then I have, you know, put my washing powder, my pre-soak, and all of my, you know, laundry items here. You will note that we haven't yet mounted my ironing board up on the wall yet. Dad just had to buy some special screws for that. So we're still waiting for him to do that. But yeah, so that's that. As for the rest of the laundry, hold on. Oops. So I'm just going to sit down because I'm lazy and it's easier. So as for the rest of the laundry, I'm not quite sure how much money I'll spend on it yet. We're currently working out our next steps. We, as in Ben and I, we are going to be moving in together. It won't be here though, because this space just isn't big enough for the 3 of us. So we haven't put a date on it yet or anything. But as I am moving out, and this was a big part of my discussion with my accountant yesterday, it's determining what the best steps for this house is going to be. So whether I rent it out or I sell it, we haven't yet decided. We're just kind of crunching the numbers and working out what the best path is, I guess. So obviously if I rent it out, I will spend less money on that space. If I sell the house, then I will probably spend a little bit more just to, you know, obviously get as much money as possible for this house. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the accountant comes back with. We've also got to have a meeting with a mortgage broker at some point, again, just to crunch numbers and do all that kind of thing. So we want to, whatever decision we make, we want it to be the best decision based on the information that we've received from the people that are the most knowledgeable. So anyway, we'll see. There's no time frame, as I said, yet. We're just kind of floating ideas and you know, considering our options. So anyway, that's where I'm going to leave the vlog to this week. Thank you again for tuning in. Yeah, as always, please like, subscribe, all of the good things. I'll see you next week.